The top 15 regrets from retirees. There's a lot of them, guys, but here are the top 15 per Boldin. So I got all this information from Boldin. No, this is not a sponsorship by Boldin, although they did ask me. So leave me some comments, guys. Leave me some comments. For those of you who are already retired, what is the top, or are the top regrets that you've had, since you've been retired a year, 5 years, 10 years? Let us all know. There are a lot of people that are not retired yet. Watch my channel. Give us the good info, the bottom line. What are your top regrets? Here's 15, according to Boldin. Number 1, they wish they would have planned more carefully for the fun in their retirement. Now, these are in no particular order, just 15 of the top ones. What does that mean? Well, here's what that means. The fun they had, especially early in their retirement, they went a little cost crazy. Okay, they went crazy on it. They could have gone on like a 6-month vacation someplace to Greece. Hey, honey, we don't know what we're going to do yet in retirement. Why don't we check out Greece for 6 months? Okay, did you plan for that before you retired? Did you plan for that? Especially early on, guys, especially early on, you can go crazy. For those of us on moderate income, be careful with that, or plan on it before you retire. Number 2, staying informed about personal finance. That's a big one. The way I've always thought, because I've never used a financial advisor, I went to one 25 years ago for a one-time shot. They looked at what I was doing. They said, okay, you're on the right track. That's all I needed. But for those of you who rely extensively on retirement planners, financial advisors, a lot of the people that they surveyed here, Boldin, wish that they had dug deeper themselves into personal finance. Why? Sure, you can still have a financial advisor, advising you, but why not be able to double check it? Of course, you're not going to have the same experience as them, but the more you know about personal finance, the more comfortable you will feel about what they are doing with your finances. Or try it on your own, right? Number 3, not taking control of their money. Okay, this goes along with number 2. A lot of these retirees wished that they would have known more about personal finance so they could handle it on their own, right? Guys, I can't tell you what a freeing feeling it is to be able to be confident enough to know that you're doing the right things with your finance, with your money, with your planning. It frees you up. And through the first 4.5 years of retirement, it has come back to me in numbers that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm staying the course when I should, that I'm making little tweaks here and there if I feel the need to. It feels great. So boost up your knowledge on personal finance. Hey, for those of you who see me for the first time, my name is Duane, and this is a retirement channel for people on moderate income. If that's something you think you might like, think about subscribing and like the video as well. Number 4, paying too much in assets under management fees. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are paying, let's say that the normal average is 1% of assets under management that financial advisors charge. There are some people that are paying significantly more than that. Now, if you are comfortable with 1%, great. If you're comfortable with 1.5%, yeah, maybe not so great. Number 5, not getting a second opinion on their retirement plan, on their financial plan. Guys, you don't want to go to the first advisor that you see and say, yes, I want you to handle my money because everything I heard is good. Well, how do you really know it's good unless you've gone to 2, 3, maybe even 4 of them, and checked out the different advice? Something you got to do. If you are going to go that route, please, I beg of you, don't just jump into the first one because your Uncle Rick, he's a friend of his. Don't do that. Number 6, not planning for the unexpected. Yeah, a lot of retirees regret that. Obviously things can come up in retirement that you have no idea are going to happen, right? You could get hit with a huge health concern, 6 months in, right? But if you can save on top of your retirement savings, if you could save into an emergency fund, that can at least, if not totally help you, partially help you with those unexpected costs that arise. It doesn't have to be physical. It could be, something went wrong. You need a new roof, 20, 30,000 bucks. Instead of dipping totally into your retirement savings for that, have an emergency fund. A lot of these retirees wished they had planned more for the unexpected. Number 7, not paying off debt sooner. Tricky. Changing hands, always a very fraught with danger in my videos when I do that. Not paying off debt sooner. There are a lot of people that go into retirement with a lot of debt. Guys, I've always believed you don't need to go into retirement debt free, but be as low as you can. I'm not one to speak. 6 months into retirement, I bought a house. So I have a mortgage debt. Okay. Luckily, didn't have credit card debt. But yeah, a lot of these people say they should have paid off their debt before they retired, because once you get into retirement, it can be a little tougher to do that. It really can, guys, because you're taking money out of your investments and you're looking at all that money go out of your investments. You're like, I can take that debt later. Yeah, be very careful with that. Number 8, leaving free money on the table. What does that mean? Well, here's what that means. 50 and over contributions. And if you're 60 and over, you can put even more money into your retirement investments. A lot of these people didn't take advantage of that. They wish they did. That would have given them a lot more money once they got to retirement. Number 9, this one's obvious, not saving enough. Okay. You would like to think that, when you get to retirement, you'd have a pretty good idea on how much you're going to spend. A lot of people, man, it hits upside of the head. It's like, I am spending almost as much as I did when I was working. They say most of us will get by with like around 75-80% of what we could survive on when we were working, but that's not always the case, guys. It's not always the case. Number 10, not retiring earlier. Yes, taking full advantage of those go-go years. Man, the go-go years are special. Once you get out of that into the no-go years, which is usually like around 70 to 80, those are the no-go years, that's the start of your physical decline. A lot of these people wish they would have retired a couple years earlier so they could have had more of those go-go years. Number 11, this is a big one. I used to be a big worrywart. Worrying instead of planning. There could be things I worried about, but I never took the impetus to actually do anything about them. Same with these retirees. There's stuff they worried about. Worried. But did they try and fix that? Seems like a lot of them didn't. Uh-oh, big train coming through. Should I catch it? Should I try and catch the caboose? Number 12, not planning adequately for health care. It's a big one. Guys, I have used ACA since I retired in August of 2021. It has worked out very well for me, okay? They're like Joe Kuhn. Joe doesn't use ACA. He uses a different kind of insurance. You don't have to. People use all different kinds of insurance before Medicare kicks in at 65. But you have to go into retirement planning for that. Okay, you have to at least have some semblance of what you're going to do for insurance, especially those who retire early. If you don't go in and you haven't planned adequately for that, that could throw you a big, dare I say, huge curveball. Number 13, investing too conservatively or too aggressively. The older you get more conservative. You might have heard of the rising equity glide path by Michael Kitces. I don't believe in that. I believe the older you get, the more conservative you should get. Now, some people will regret being too conservative earlier in their investment life. If you're in your 20s, man, 100% stocks. 30s, maybe even then. 40s, I would tone it down to where just before you retire, in my opinion, the way I have it set up, I am 60-40 stocks bonds. That could be too conservative for some, that could be too aggressive for some, but you should definitely get more conservative the older you get. Number 14, not planning for taxes. Okay, you could go into retirement thinking, well, you know what? I'll be in the 12% tax bracket. Yeah, because I will have no income coming in. You sure about that? If there is ever any time that I want to get professional help, it's probably for this, right? I don't know much about taxes. Most people don't, especially going to retirement. Even if you don't get financial advisor, get someone to look at something for your taxes, at least an estimation of what they might be. And number 15, saving but not planning income in retirement. That is a good one. And yes, I'm changing hands again because I'm an old man and my arms fall asleep quick. Planning for income in retirement. What does that mean? That is every time you take a withdrawal out of your investments in retirement, unless they are a Roth, that's counted as income. Okay? You might think you'd be able to get by in a certain amount per year. Might not work for you. You need to figure this stuff out before, or at least have a semblance of what you think it might be, your income in retirement, so you don't get hammered like number 14 on taxes. Something you really got to figure out before you retire. So there you go, guys. 15 big regrets that retirees had looking back on where they were before they retired, after they retired. So hopefully some of those might help you out. Hey, I know I was guilty of a couple of those. So, from above, beautiful downtown LA. It's a sparkling clear day after we had some rain yesterday. We got this.